Hi, and we are live. Let's do my mic check here real quick. Hello, mic check, come in, and we got a good mic check today. Alrighty. Just making sure our Facebook links work before going on here. Make sure our streaming link is working proper. Let's see. Let's see if it takes me the right one. Come on, at least copy it. Won't even copy it. Oh no. Well, hopefully it'll work. We'll check later if the link is good. If not, we'll start just posting links to our channel. That's probably a better idea anyway. This is very much growing pains. So let me see if I can. See. Okay, well, I may as well get started. We got some viewers here, so I'm hoping that link actually worked. I know I have to manually enter it into my phone, and that's just not a lot of fun. So what I'm going over here to get this one started is the basic build and the basic building parts of the First Order Stormtroopers. We'll look at the shins and the calves, the thighs and the hamstrings, the forearms, the ankle spat covers, and the biceps. All these parts involve butt joining, and that's pretty much what we're going to be doing a lot of. These kits were mostly pre-trimmed. They'll require a little bit of sanding, a little bit of extra cutting with whatnot tools. I'll start with the biceps. They're right in front of me here. We covered doing the back half of them. The first thing to do is to figure out which ones are going to be your left and your right, and then take your front and cut a nice line straight across it. So I'm actually going to start with this one and get rid of it. This is the left, I believe. It's always very confusing. No, sorry. This is the right bicep right here. This is the bicep. And we want to retain one of the full trapezoids, even though it's on both parts. So we're going to use that line as our primary cut line, and then clean that edge up and transfer it over to this edge. Parts are a little dusty. We got a bunch of kits made, and they have just been sitting around for a while. It's been time to start getting more builds done now that we have the paint booth going. It's just all a matter of due time as to which suit and when they get assembled. And going to be doing a rotation. Try to get as many of these kind of tutorials in as I can. Just rags in a box, quick dust off, make my life a little easier. So I always check and double check, and let's make sure we're dealing with the proper ones, because I just assembled some yesterday, and that should be the finished result. Going with the full part here, and this is what we're doing here. I will get to cutting this. Let me turn on my other lights. make things a little bit brighter in here anyway. And since I've determined I want to keep this one for the, you'll never remember which bicep it actually is, left and right, just keep it like that in front of you. There's too many notifications going on right now. Way too many. That's just one nice straight line. You see it's going to transfer over to right here. My itty bitty nub of a pencil. Pencil mark that in. A nice line to follow. And I'm going to use my finer scissors this time. Alternatively, you can score and snap this. Bigger snips probably would have done just as well. These are really good heavy-duty snips. I'm actually going to save this piece because we want to use it for joining behind here. So we'll trim it down, glue it behind. From here, now we just want to make sure we have a good straight flat edge. Easy way to do that without taking it to a belt sander is take a rough grid of paper, put it down on a flat surface, and work the piece across it. Just one little ugly nub that was not cooperating and wanting to come out. It's out now. That's taken care of. And since we're going to be using this strip that we cut off as a common strip, I want to sand the inside of the areas where anything is going to be glued down. Just 60 grit paper, smoothing out some edges where it was cut out. I'll just go ahead and just sand over the whole top of this, make it easier for me to see the pencil marks. But some of it's going to have to be trimmed off. See, most of our parts are made whenever possible with like a little bit of the opposing side on the primary side so that we can have room to cut down and whatnot and extra pieces of plastic. Really try to be conservative with our plastic as much as possible. It's a precious resource, and takes time to get. Our first one here, you know what? It's not looking like I even need to trim anything off. I've got enough flex. And I'll put this strip right here in the middle. Whew. I got a lot of that strip in there. Well, that's going to be a good side to join to then. So I put down thick super glue on one side, spray the other side with the activator, and then join the pieces together and apply pressure for about 10-15 seconds. You know, this one's firmly in place. Double check our alignment, make sure everything still looks good. Everything still looks good. Double check the edges, make sure you don't have any crazy stray burrs anywhere. Anything you may have forgotten or left out. Everything's good and sanded, so we'll go ahead and glue down the other side. And since I got this so close, I want to be careful with how much glue I'm putting on there. Because I don't want it to run too much. And I'm using the clip alignment to start. I'm just trying to walk it all the way up. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit of super glue on myself. Not too worried about it. A little bit right there. It'll sand right off. And I'll put some more sprays on the inside, let it run down just in case any didn't get contacted when the parts met. Try to make it a habit of wiping off parts that have, you know, accelerator put on them. Just keep your parts clean. I'm getting all paranoid sitting here wondering if our link is actually working. Let me check the measurements here real quick. Come on. You're not in the box. You got to be in the box. All right. Our standard measurements are fine for just about everybody. I kind of remember seeing his before. Let me go to our size chart folder. Oh, you were right on top. Your bicep is 11 inches. So yeah, you are perfectly fine for our standard assembly. I'm 13.5 inches and I go right in. So on the opposing side is where it's going to get a little different. I covered this in another live video about how to line these up for size. They do take a little additional trimming. So what we're going to do with the other side is line it up on the return edge at the top and work with that. And we'll be cutting from the bottom and letting it overlap and glue underneath. So for Frank's suit here, I know he's got an 11.5 inch bicep. He's going to have gaskets and whatnot underneath it. So you do need to make sure you accommodate a little extra room. Where's my clamps? There's some clamps. Check and check and check. Measure twice, cut once. Be sure you're happy with the way the front looks. Clamps in place. Get that pencil mark. So you know, because I'm getting down here too, I'm going to be trimming some off the bottom down here. And all this will be built back up with ABS slurry and then putty beyond that. So you can't really see the pencil mark, but it's way up here. And at this stage, there's no point in keeping that much material on it. So I will go ahead and cut off a fair portion, leaving, about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch. This will just make it a little easier for us to work with. Since I am cutting it this way, this also can give you an option if you wanted to follow that line perfectly. You can butt join it. But me personally, with what we did with this other suit's biceps, by doing the overlap and then the ABS slurry and the polyflex on top of that, or regular Bondo, because it was really just filling pinholes. Regular Bondo spot putty would have been just fine in this situation. That's just a method that's working out really well. Butt joining is good, but anytime I can overlap two parts together, that just creates added strength. Hi, Wolfgang! Man, we're going to have to run a contest for you. See how many times Wolfgang can get the first comment. So, like everything else, now we're back to doing more sanding. I've got my pencil mark. I'm going to be very careful up towards this because I do want that area sanded, but I don't want to sand away from where my pencil mark is. Or I don't want to, you know, erase my pencil mark. Ah, Venom Paintball. Yeah. Well, it's been a while since we've been trying to do streams. Things have been so crazy. Just trying to get things done, get caught up. Oh, good job. I sanded the wrong sides, didn't I? Oh, that was a genius move. Well, I'm full of them. Sometimes you just don't have time for a stream. But if I'm sitting here at the bench building armor that needs tutorials on it, then I'm just going to have to stream or record videos or do something. But quite honestly, if y'all were looking at the pictures that we posted the other day with our stream stats, we've got so many subscribers and we need the 4,000 viewing hours. So that doesn't sound like a lot. We had actually hit Twitch affiliate pretty quick, but that was because we got room bombed by a couple of people. And I just never felt like Twitch was our place where we needed to be. I think YouTube is just more accessible for everybody. And if we can start getting up in numbers on subscribers and see what kind of dividends that they pay, then that gives us a chance to have other people here full time too. So we're looking into that, trying to get that done right now. Well, the price is about to go up. We're going to go up at least $50 on all of our $400 armor kits. It's just the cost of doing business right now. We've been adding a lot of additional parts, doing a lot of additional work to them, and we're just seeing our costs on the kits go up and up with plastic costs. So it's just something that we're going to have to do. Our coupon will still work, but it'll kind of effectively wipe out what it was before. And you know, we really believe that kits should not cost $800, $1,000 for some plastic and some urethane resin. Great. I did not want to get super glue on these gloves so soon, but it's bound to happen. And I have no, we have not done a full tutorial on the first order TK. That was actually one of the first videos that we posted up to YouTube, was the backplate tutorial with the terrible audio. You can go to other live videos and essentially see the same thing that I've done on it. We're pretty much going to be using these live streams as our tutorials, since I've got first orders on the workbench, and any other specific tutorials we need to do later, like for the Death Trooper and whatnot, I'll be throwing up here. I really wanted to do the thigh tutorial for the Death Trooper recently, because we're shipping off Justin Stewart's set right now, and his thighs got built after painting, but it was just a time thing. All right, so other than a little bit of trimming at the bottom here, this is ready for the ABS slurry. And again, I have a 13.5-inch bicep, and that fits me pretty snug. I could get a gasket set under that pretty easily, and this should work great for Frank. And that's your basic bicep. Oh, hello, Nick. Yeah, Venom, the other thing is we are, for just what we have now, we've got these two, and I'm trying to see, I think it's 5 more first order Stormtroopers to build. So once those are done, we're not building any more of these for clients. They just take up a little bit too much of my time. I was saying in the other videos, this is a suit for me that has to be perfect. And there's no way you can do it fast and perfect. If we could just have a little leeway with some weathering, we could hide some mistakes. I'm just repeating the procedure from earlier in the video, taking the right side where we only want to retain that detail, transfer it right on top, make the details match up. Put your pencil marks in so you know where to cut. And cut straight as you can along that line. And like the other one, don't lose this piece, because we are going to use this to butt join them right back together. Wow, everybody's chatting today. Where was everybody yesterday? Well, a regular Imperial TK kit, all right, it depends on the kit. That's the main deal. The Rogue One Stormtrooper, I could have them, if that's all I'm doing for the day, I could have one paint ready in about a day and a half. That's why I have 6 of them behind me right here. They're going to start getting tackled 2 at a time. That's what we're doing with all our kits and builds right now, just kind of going around, tackling them 2 at a time, getting them into paint and final strapping. We built back in, oh goodness, 2005 or 2006? No, it had to be 2005. No, it was 2006, March of 2006, right around then, February, March, because it was around time for a charity walk. We built an Armor FX Stormtrooper sans helmet, start to finish in 8 hours. And the first thing I did was throw away the instruction manual and the Velcro that they include because it's garbage. And Chris Valia was wearing that suit the next day on a 3.1 mile parade. So yeah, that's probably the fastest. That's an Armor FX kit. That's different. I think the speed of which you can build a Stormtrooper kit depends on the level of accuracy you're going for, because you got to deal with how the kit is designed versus how or what level you want it to be at. Do you need to butt join everything? Are you allowed to overlap anything? All the different methods take different amounts of time. If I had a set of forearms that I could just overlap for a TK, it's boom, 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 no problem. That's how our forearms are set up. If it needs to be butt joined, then we're taking extra time right here to do those kind of things. Let me see if I've missed anything, and I really got to get back to if we could make everything that we make out of black ABS, we would. Well, let me just to verbalize Venom's question. If I had to pick what color ABS to use for FOTK, what would you pick, and what are the ups and downs of each color? Just period, into story. Black ABS. We have to paint everything no matter what. So black is fine, and more things use black. If you're worried about scratching through, well, that's also kind of the point of the black armor, but you really do need a little bit of weathering and wear points to show through. It's kind of a losing battle. I mean, for just building it, yeah, just go ahead and order a white kit and build it. For me, it doesn't matter what color it is because of the paint process that I put it through. If you don't have access to essentially automotive grade paint, then using a black kit may not be the best idea. But I made most of my personal sets out of black armor, and if they get a little scratch, I don't worry about it. I just touch it up later. So if you have white, yeah, order white. If you're able to order it now, we need about 4 or 5 more orders, and we can actually order our next batch of white ABS. We finished forming everything last night that we had, and they're all getting shipped out today. And we're trying to run through as much of the black that we have right now. We've already done the first 2 Death Troopers, 2 TIE Pilots, and a couple parts orders off of it right now. And we have a lot of Death Troopers to do. Those are going to be some of our first ones that we're trying to get out. And then we're going to take the Shore Trooper kits from there. And whoever did not order a helmet bundled with their kit, we'll put up front because we were still working on the new master, and it's looking good. I was working on it some this morning, getting some putty on it, and that'll be ready for molding here probably the end of next week, maybe a little bit after, but I don't know when I'll actually get to mold it. Got a couple helmets I need to mold, but kind of want to get through a couple of Halloween rushish things here, and then I'll start looking at our new projects again. So with the butt join, just want to make sure they look good when they're going to line up together. They do. Still like to sand the edges. Flatten it all out. All right, that's going to make a good butt join. So we'll take the cutaway piece and test fit it. Let's see. This one's looking like it's going to be a little bit more unruly, and it wants me to trim a bit. Let's see if I can just pull it up a little higher. maybe. Yeah, that'll be good right there. Nah, lost it. Okay, do you want to be trimmed or not? What's your problem? What do you want? You want to be trimmed? Yeah, you want to be trimmed. Knit that little area. See if we can get you to fit a little better. There it is. Much better. If I had all the free time in the world, what armor would I make next? I have no idea, because that's the furthest thing from my mind right now. I can't even think about free time. I don't know what free time is anymore. This was supposed to be a hobby. No, do it for fun, not be a job. Okay, if I had all the free time in the world, that would require a movie studio essentially contracting us for something big enough that it could use up all my free time to make said set of armor. That's about the only way it's happening. Have there been more? Oh, I can't read it. My speaker's in the way. I gotta move something. Sorry. Speaker's in the way. I can't read the chat boxes anymore. Oh, okay. So Nicholas asking if we've had more orders since the pandemic. I don't know if it's pandemic related or not. We've got more build orders this year than we have ever seen before. That could have been from the stimulus, but that's also something that really helped us kind of get to the point that we're at now. All the upgraded 3D printers, building the sheds, making up the paint booth. Like, it was, everybody came in and made a real huge investment in us. But as far as business goes, I try not to personally keep track of it. We have enough work. We have people up front and accountants that take care of the business aspect. That's not me. We do kind of go up and down with the markets. So when the stock markets are doing real good and everyone seems happy and consumer confidence is good, you know, we're rolling pretty good. But whenever we've had the downtrends, I mean, we crash right down there along with it. So, but that's not what I'm worried about right now. I'm just worried about getting good things to people. You know, the economy will fix itself. Everything will work itself out in the end, no matter what. All right, now we're back to building and repeating what we did with the other bicep. Super glue thick on the butt joint piece. Got a little wind fan blowing on it right there. I don't want this stuff to start curing too fast. And line it up to your pencil mark as good and quickly as you can, if you can. See, I had to pull that one away. I didn't like it. And get it in there and squeeze. And get super glue all over your fingers. At some point, I'm just going to become part cyanoacrylic. Yes, my love.
He's coming by to pick it up.
Oh, when?
Today. He's home for a week, so he wants to get started on it.
Okay.
I gave him your number.
Okay. Well, go pack it out. All right. Well, let me see what his name was again, because I'll forget. Tyler Rollins. Okay, I have to remember that. Tyler Rollins. Yay, local pickup. Yay. Yes, my love. Okay. Put it under the keyboard. Doesn't blow away.
Be the only box up there.
Okay. Or you can pack it and bring it back here.
Okay.
You know. No, but just make sure everything's bundled appropriately. You know, do your thing. So I don't have to. Somebody's a little camera shy. I'm a little camera shy. Said it yesterday. I'm not the biggest fan of exposing myself to the world like this. It's very private. You know, my life is my life. Seeing the way cancel culture works and all that stuff, it's scary. And just test fit and snip away whatever you need to snip away. It's running a little high on me on the top. I was hoping trimming it at the bottom would give me the room I need, but it looks like it's going to force me to trim it out right here. And every build is different. Every build is unique. It doesn't matter that they were the same parts. It's, for some reason, it just sometimes works better on one than the other. It happens. I guess that's why we make this art. Call it art. Consider it art. What's the most amount of kits we've had in one order? I don't remember right now. A lot of people like to try to do group buys, and we don't work that way because every kit is essentially made to order. We do them in batches of 2 or 3 at a time in each session before they get moved up to shipping. So, you know, your order ticket is stapled on your box, and that's your armor. Maybe 10 sets of armor, maybe. I remember a few times for 5 sets. It gets tricky when you're trying to deal with people wanting bulk or 2, but our 24 by 18 by 18 inch Lowe's boxes, they fit like every kit perfectly, some with helmets, some without helmet. So we're really restricted by how much room we have. We have 15 sets of a partial suit being made soon for a certain maker out there he's going to be putting together and be introducing a really neat new product for. He's going to be using our armor and helmets for a lot of things, and armor and helmets from a lot of other vendors too. I can't say much. I mean, we didn't sign an NDA or anything, but I don't want to, you know, spill the beans without his permission. I don't know how much advertising he's done for it so far, but yeah, we've got 15 sets of basically R1 chests and backs, and I'm calling R1 chest and back, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper, Tank Trooper. 555 of each of those. They are for a special project. Helmets with those 2, Shore and Death Trooper. I'm not sure where they're getting their tanker helmet from, but we haven't offered a tanker helmet in a while. And they are going to be making a very cool product, utilizing parts that they already manufacture as well. And they're hoping to make them available to everybody here if the pandemic slows down, hopefully by next summer. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like, if we start hearing San Diego Comic-Con is going to open at 50% capacity minimum, then you know what, I say we're back on. I know Celebration got pushed back to 22. So Disney's probably playing it safe, but they do things like the D23 Expo and whatnot. So they got their own things. I was just talking through assembling a bicep. This one turned out real pretty, if you ask me. And here we go again. Line up, size up, test fit. Be happy. It is just building a model kit. Oh, I can't wait to get a tool cart. I need a tool cart so bad. I want all my stuff to my right. Clear off this workbench. Just too much junk. I need armor on the workbench, not tools. I mean, just the tools I need at those moments. Yes. Any plans to do a live stream of the R1TK build? Yes. However, I guess we'll have to redo the bicep tutorial. If you follow our already published Shore Trooper abdomen, bicep, forearm tutorials, say shin, calf, those are already kind of there as our basic R1TK builds. We have a tutorial in our Instagram highlights on how to build the thighs. And that's really it. I mean, for the most part, the R1TK was kind of self-explanatory. But yeah, whenever I break down one of these kits behind me, it'll be up on the workbench just like this, doing all the main assembly parts. And we'll be getting anyone else with that kit rocking and rolling, because that's my favorite kit right now. We are doing every trooper. One of our guys already upgraded, want to do the mortar trooper, so he already paid up for the extra paint for the scheme. Like, yeah, we're painting at least one mortar trooper. One of our TKs being built for Eddie Gideon, it's going to be a incinerator trooper, so rock on. It is definitely my favorite armor right now, considering how much I hated it whenever I first saw it. But we were actually looking at some, I didn't sand the inside. On the other side, did I? No, I didn't. Genius. See, guys, I'm either getting distracted or y'all just get to see. It doesn't matter how many times you do this. Mistakes will happen. Little bitty things. Ooh, here comes the scary part. Lining everything up to the pencil mark. Start at the top. Start at the top. Start at the top. There it goes. Is that where you want to be? That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. And lock it. Please don't get super glue on your fingers. Please don't get super glue on your fingers. You already got super glue on your other glove now. Okay. And as soon as this hits, fine though. Don't do that. Why you look like that? Yeah, a little belt sander time for a little shaping. It's not going to cooperate. There it is. Yeah, a little bit of shaping there. Okay. So that's really the basics of the biceps until you get into the ABS slurry. Did some yesterday's video, some in Monday's video, I guess. Was I streaming Monday? I don't remember. But I'm not going to do the ABS slurry until it's time to do the forearms too, because I've already done Frank's back and abdomen. Nothing else need the slurry. So yay, biceps. That's just your rough basic assembly before putting in clip details, which I did in the video yesterday too. So set them to the side for now and clean the workbench. Yes, Nicholas. The commission builds do come fully strapped and ready to wear. The only exception come around the belt parts, because we don't do final attachments on those, but send just about everything you need with it, the extra Velcros or whatnot. You'll need to get some, we leave a note in there that you need to get some glue like E6000. That's just so you can find like final placements where your belt goes. But yeah, you get shoulder straps, you get your leg straps if you need it. Well, I mean, shoulder straps, I mean, you get your abdomen straps that go across your shoulders, you get your shoulder straps that go down across there. We leave those Velcro or do loops over that connect into the abdomen. And yeah, you get your web belt to hold up your legs if you have thighs, because we take a little bit of nylon, quick release clip, and we glue that on the inside, so that's what physically hangs up your legs. You either have to have a bit of a derriere or at least have some hips. I have neither. And yes, clean the workbench before we start on the next thing, which we'll go over to the forearms. But clean the workbench, because there's just too much junk. This isn't how I like things. At least put the stuff in front of me then. Can't put it to my right. Oakley dokley. So they've already been pretty much rough trimmed. And this one hasn't had its full trim yet, but it does have a cut line in it. This one, there, yeah, there it is. It has a cut line on both sides to follow, so that these two will butt up perfectly. I don't overlap join these. I guess it's possible now, if we wanted to build it a little faster, we could overlap it. We could do the slurry on it. It's just every time I do one butt join, they just turn out better. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Huh? That's Bill. Set it beside it, please. Thank you. Yeah, he's ready for his fitting. So like I was saying, I got cut lines already on the underside of the forearms. You'll follow those nice and straight. Even though we're not doing them, these cut lines were set up to coincide with the First Order TIE Pilot forearms. We do have the full set of molds available for the forearms. We don't have the shoulder bells, because that one kind of died. I never liked it anyway. And we'd have to redo it if we're going to redo any First Order parts again. Answer your question, have you done a video on all you need beyond the armor for trimming and fitting? Oh no, there's Facebook groups and message groups and 500 first message boards, or that y'all can talk to. Y'all can find out we're not going to really push any preferred vendor on top of anyone else. Okey-dokey. In just a second, this cut isn't as even as I like it, so I'm going to take it to the belt sander. I got to trim a touch off of this too to get a good butt joint, so this is going to be a good time to overlap it. Just want to make that nice and flat because that makes butt joining so much easier. Whenever we get around to doing a clone and a clone tutorial, clones are nothing but butt joining, seam filling across the board. Every single part gets it, except for the chest and the back, and shoulder bells. And, well, if you have a plastic belt, then yeah, it's going to get seam filled and some butt joining and, yeah, everything. I doubt any of our kits were using the Mandalorian, but it probably wouldn't hurt for them to place an order for about 50 Stormtroopers. That would make me pretty happy. We've tried our best to make that suit as accurate as possible. Yeah, painting a helmet to match anything fun right now is just not going to happen. There's no fun allowed. I've actually got to thank Justice Self from Alabama Garrison alone, just for letting me take what was going to be his suit of armor, R1TK, and letting me finish it for myself to use. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even had a suit this year for the few events that we did get to troop in. So I'm like really grateful that I had that, was able to do a few events so far this year. Otherwise, it may have felt really hopeless and pointless. The whole reason I even held the suit back was because I was redoing the cover strips for the thighs and hamstrings at the time, and I'd already assembled those legs with the old ones, and I didn't want to send it out. Not like that. All right. So we're going to see a little bit more of a true butt joint now. I took the bottom half over to the belt sander, got a nice flat edge on it, and I've got a little bit more of a jaggedy edge here. Got a couple choices. I could draw my pencil mark across here and try to sand it down so they meet up perfectly, or I could cut it. But this is what a true butt joint is really making the parts that you're joining together have as much of an identical seam as possible, or identical cut, so when they come on the seam end of it, it makes it a lot easier to get your positioning and do all your filling. A lot of experience doing butt joining from building clones. Sad noises. Clamp didn't hold. It's barely hanging on to anything right there anyway. I have to do a multi-parter. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience building clone trooper armor. Can't tell you how many sets of clone armor I've built. And since they're all butt joining, this is just real second nature stuff. Okay. And do my best to cut it first. I'll belt sand it if I have to. I'll probably be fine just using the palm sander to even it out, even it up. I'm just going to try to stay really close to that graphite mark on there. Oh, don't you start being a pain. Don't you get locked up. There you go. Oh, that's why you're locking up. All right, I am dreadfully close to that line, which is good. Because I want to be. I'll load up some 60 grit in the palm sander and finish flattening it out. For beginners, overlap or butt join, that depends on what you want to use the costume for. And if you're using it for 500 first submission or a costume club submission that has unruly details that force you to butt join things as standard practice, then I recommend you follow their guidelines. If you're just doing something for yourself, overlap is fast and easy. Just do it. And it's just as strong, if not stronger. No problem. I'm going to be here for another 3-ish hours. There we go. That's just nice and flat, hardly any kind of gapping anywhere. That's perfect. That's what you want to see. Did I do the other side? I can't even remember. Probably not. Let me check it, though. It's a little less important than the other side. No, I didn't, but it lines up darn good, so I don't have to do anything to it. We will see if these are going to be good enough for the butt joint strips. If not, I'll have to grab some spare ABS from somewhere and make up the butt joint strips. Those should be good enough, though. Like with everything that's going to get glued, sand it first. We don't glue on shiny surfaces. Shiny means it does not stick. Sanding creates a tooth for all this stuff to get into and fuse parts together. So we're using the cutoff. From the marked line on the flat forearm. That's what we're using for our butt joint piece. Clamp that in a couple places and get a pencil mark. Right. I'm gonna hold you in the middle then. Be that way. And I need just a tad cut off right here. There we go. Strip number 1 in place. Move on to number 2. Same difference here. Cut off a little excess. Make it fit a touch better. There we go. Look at that. Yay! Those are our butt jointing strips for the left forearm. Yay! And now we'll start attaching them to the left forearm. I think. Let's always check and double check. Yes, it's the only one I was working on, so it has to be the left forearm. Correct. That's the right forearm. Yes. Correct. I am correct, sir. Left forearm. This is what we're doing. Yeah. Measure twice, cut once. I measure about 300 times and then cut a couple times. Oh, before I get more super glue on me, let's see where we are right here on our comments. And compared to yesterday, where was everybody yesterday? Did our link not work? Did the post not go through or something? Hey, y'all are tearing me up. Okay, Wolfgang, have we made the shield that goes on the Mimim Trooper? Right now, Empire 3 on Etsy, he's got a good model file for the Black Series helmet. I've been in conversations with him. I put 2 of them, one for me and one for Kevin Merritt. So I like it. It's really good. The biggest issue with it is actually orienting it to print. I have talked to Fletcher, our 3D artist, about designing the shield specifically for us and our helmet. And at that point, we'd probably be looking at doing them out of fiberglass because it'll be a really simple part to glass and get out. So it's definitely planned. For now, I'm still wearing my Black Series helmet until I get a new visor. So I'm stuck with it. And then that helmet will go on the shelf or I'll sell it. I don't want to sell it. I'm tired of selling personal items. Okay, catching up on more. Wolfgang. What kit would I suggest to someone that has never put a kit together? I have seen and watched other people put kits together. Well, just for I'm thinking of every set of armor, not just anything that we make. Probably nothing's easy. To some point, just nothing is just easy. I can make it look easy here, but it's just not. Because the first thing that pops in my mind is TIE Pilot. A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, doesn't matter. But the helmet is a pain in the rear to put together. So I can't classify it as easy anymore. Classified as easy because it's chest, back, shoulder straps, and spades and some Chicago screws. No big deal. Easiest kit. You know what? Honestly, our Death Trooper is pretty dadgum easy to put together. And I actually think our pricing reflects it too. It's not the assembly that's hard on the Death Trooper. It's the painting that you really get got for on that. Because, yeah, I think we charge like $500 for the basic assembly, you ready to paint. And that's really pretty cheap because it's a solid day and a half work once we deal with all the trimming, sanding, getting all the straps in place, assembling the chest and back armor, putting the biceps together, putting the forearms together to paint ready, assembling the thighs, the shins. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid day and a half, 2 days of work to get it to paint ready from the raw kit. So yeah, Death Trooper, if it's coming from us. It's got some quirks to it. Like the way the rubber mat works and some little odds and end things you have to do to it, unlike other kits. But lo and behold, it's not sitting here doing this. I could have had, and how long has this video been running? An hour and 10 minutes? Well, if I didn't stop for talking either, I probably would have had more than this put together on a Death Trooper by now. As on him too, I overlap everything. Overlap the forearms, the biceps get to be overlapped, the front of the shins get overlapped, get Velcro details. The thigh and hamstring, I said they're rubber mat. They're kind of a different process to assemble, but they're not hard. I could do each one in about an hour. Chest and back, I've done so many of them now. They're kind of a walk in the park to me. but they're about an hour and a half to assemble it. Yeah, overall, it's the painting that'll get you on a Death Trooper, making sure it's nice and good to go. Other questions to catch up on? Wolfgang got you there, and you really purchased. Oh, you purchased the commission build. Nick, actually, your name sounds real familiar. Give me a second. Let me go look. Let me go look. Oh, look. If Nicholas Cardona is your real name. Let's see. Justice. Yeah, you were Anson. You were Germany. Where are you? I wrote your name on it, that's why. Arnold Marshall. And Justin Curie. Let me go check our order sheets for you real quick then, because you're not any of the ones that are already made. There you are. There you are. Yay, Nicholas, I found you. Okay, as far as we do have you grouped in the white right now, you are number 4. Hi, Hurricane Wolf. You are number 4 on the forming list. We formed the last of the white last night. I think we are still waiting on 4 or 5 more orders for the white to come in. Would it make it any faster? Not considering I got 7 R1 TKs in front of you. So more than likely, your kit's going to get made as soon as that white order comes in, and it'll be kind of like these guys just going in our circle here to get finished. So yeah, that's where you stand. And we do appreciate it. We'll probably end up putting in our order for white in probably a week and a half, give or take, maybe as long as 2 weeks. It's generally 3 weeks to deliver at that point. We've got to blow through our black. We just cracked it last night, so our plan is to get everything that we have required for black in a box. We can contact you, Nicholas, if you want, if we have just extra plastic at that point, and just go ahead and form your kit and put it in the batch for the rotations. I don't have a count on how many black suits we need to run right now, so it's just, we're not going to know until we start counting our plastic at the very end and start doing our picking and choosing of who gets what and who has to wait for the next round. I know it's a little confusing, but it's a system. It works. Our black pallet of plastic has been sitting here for, probably at least 3 weeks before we were even able to crack it. Part of that was due to the hurricane. Not that we could really do about that, but that hurricane also flipped around my entire schedule here. We're still trying to recover from that. We had to kind of flip our focus and quit doing certain things and move on to a few others. I'm not giving you a proper view. It's just easier for me to do it like this. There you go. Try to push in the middle because you don't want to bow on these longer pieces. Start on one corner, get the middle, and then work from the middle out And that's what's going to keep you from having a bow. If we do the ABS slurry over it, if it bowed a little bit, it won't even matter. It'll probably eat right through it and solidify. And then we'll put filler on top of it, and boom, you have solid armor piece. And this is where it's going to get a little tricky, though. Let's do on the other side. Yeah, let's use the gel. I don't want it to run at all, so we're going to use the 2P10 gel. So I got to flip this thing upside down. And I've really liked working with the gel. I just haven't been using it in the armor builds. Tip's a little nasty. And you're going to have to cut it. Great job. So I'll just cut it with my good scissors. There we go. All right, now you're not going to be clogged. Ooh, yeah, it really likes to come out now. Don't get ugly on me. Man, that one just went right together. I just said, nope, I'm just going to line right up and slide right in place. I'm not even going to give you a chance to put any pressure anywhere. Beautiful. Now stay together. Beautiful. Nope, see you later, Wolfgang. Sorry I missed you there. Yeah, Nicholas, I'm glad you understand the way it works. It's a little crazy. If you didn't catch it earlier, this year we have had a ton of build orders come in. And it was just insane. We don't know where, why, how. Maybe they were stimulus checks. Maybe they were people hitting it big in the stock market. I couldn't figure it out. But it doesn't matter. We appreciate it. You're keeping our families fed. And that's what this is about. Well, a little bit. All right. There's your basic assembly for butt joint on a left forearm. So our final result will end up being like this once we do the ABS slurry and the little putty fills. This one is ready for slurry. I guess I'll do slurry again just so y'all can see it once I get this other one done. We'll say this. All right. We have a Sybe Automation 36 by 24 inch vacuum forming machine that we use with some custom modifications made to it, aluminum plates, heat shields, reduce our heat times, and things like that. It uses infrared heaters, and it's a little odd. You have to preheat it, and for at least an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, no big deal. It has 6 independently controlled temperature zones. So there's a front left, back left, front middle. You know, you get where I'm going here. And they're actually between 20 and 30% of power that we use for each one. And when we start our runs, and it's very specific, this is why we do our runs. And when you've seen some of our other pictures and why parts are stacked up on the table, why aren't we just doing the big parts? Because they kind of go on the parts in the box first. Well, when the machine's preheat, doesn't have anything underneath it. The sheet travels underneath it, and suddenly it's gone from spewing all this heat straight down to having a heat source bouncing off it. So that first sheet can be really hit or miss. If it's old plastic, it's going to orange peel, period, end of story. There's almost no stopping it. So the first sheet heat time, it varies slightly. I got a mosquito attacking me. It varies slightly whether it's black, white, red, doesn't matter. So we usually start with the forearms because we're able to time it to just under that 2-minute mark and get them over without any real major damage. This one came in and it got a little hot. It was probably sitting in the front left corner right here. And I've shown this plenty of times. You know, orange peel does happen. It happens for multiple reasons. One, it happens from moisture being in your plastic. We could keep our plastic in a dry box that's constantly heated at over 100 degrees if we wanted to, and that'll help cut down on orange peel. Ultimately, we've never found that that even matters. We're not doing that kind of production. Other problems are overheating of the sheet. Now, some parts, we absolutely have to overheat the sheet just a little bit. Otherwise, we won't make the seal and we will have just a big blob of plastic that's not good for anybody. So I've been preaching it multiple times. Don't worry so much if you've got a little bit of light peel on the surface, because it's just gonna sand right away. And that was it. Just a little bit of light sanding. That was 60 grit. Being way over course with it. Come behind it with some 220. And bada boom, bada bing. All that orange peel is gone. We got to paint everything anyway, so what does it matter? Are we doing this to be cheap? Oh, hell no, we're not doing this to be cheap. I degraded a TK back part because it had junk that got static cleaned onto the side of it. I won't send that out. But something that light, nah, that's nothing. By the time we get done putting all this together, it won't make a lick of difference anyway. You gotta sand, 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 because 90% of what we do here is sanding. There's the peel from the other side, and that's just 60 by hand. And it's gone. So, no big deal, guys. Don't sweat the small stuff. Look at the overall picture when you get done. Hurricane Wolf is asking, can you get the glue that we use in the UK? I have no idea. Amazon UK should carry just the standard Bob Smith Industries Instaset. That's, you know, our preferable accelerator to use. We've started using the 2P10 because we can pick it up local in giant bottles right down the street from us. The 2P10, I think it's $34, $35 per bottle. And each one of these bottles is, let's say 10 ounces. Yeah, they're 10-ounce bottles. I used the thick and just started playing with the gel. I really do like the gel more than I thought I would. They also have like a regular and a super water thin. Those don't work for us. I'm not sure if you can get 2P10 there. It's made by Fast Cap. Like you're running fast and you put a cap on your bottle, fastcap.com. You may be able to order it online from them. Otherwise, the standard Bob Smith Industries, they should be on Amazon UK, and they have the same stuff. I'd be using them, but basically all our hobby stores in town that carried the the Bob Smith style super glue closed down. So we were ordering big bottles on Amazon, and I'd rather support our local economy when we can and go down to Blackwater River Tools and pick it up. You can see their stuff. You can look them up too. Blackwater River Tools, Pensacola, Florida. Local business. They do business with our other business, and we're doing more business with their super glue business. Go through several bottles of these a month whenever we're doing heavy builds. So any way you look at it, Amazon will have some type of super glue that you can order that will work. Zap-A-Gap and all that, I haven't used them, so I cannot speak for them. Their accelerator probably works just fine. I don't know so much about their actual glues. Their bottles are just too small for us to buy, so never bought it. And we're just out of the right forearm. It's only 12:30. Wow, this watch battery's dying. I need it later. Like, yo, please just charge it. I already know this watch has a bad battery. Just be nice. It would be nice. Thank you. Thank you. Please charge it. I like to get my steps in. Had to reduce my step goal to 1,000 just so I'd get the silly badge because the watch battery would die. Poor watch. This one's lasted the longest for me out of all 4 of the Samsung smartwatches I've had. You're welcome. Okay. Repeating our procedure for the right forearm. Follow the cut line. Evenly as you can here. Don't worry about it too much because I'm going to end up taking it over the belt sander anyway and flattening it. I'm just not in the mood to build armor all day when I can take my little shortcuts. Because we have vacuum forming to start promptly at 3:30 Central Time, because that is our current schedule. And next week, the schedule will be build and paint armor. And in the afternoons, I will be building helmets and finishing helmets. Okie dokie. So I just cut off cut lines here for the flat for the right forearm. I'm going to belt sand the jaggedy edge down a little bit, make it nice and flat, and then transfer those lines onto there. I've really just been showing the standard assembly and haven't gone over the little resin bit here. Cut it in half. You'll cut out the Picatinny rail representation in there, get it all nice and squared up, and sand it down, glue it up from the inside. See, there's 3 little holes right here. No real idea why they came out as holes. Whenever we were designing this master, there's supposed to be pegs there. So if you want to go for super accuracy, grab some like plastic and cut off some nubs, glue them on there, and they'll be perfect. We'll probably have a newer version of this at some point in the future. Right now, it just has not been priority. If you're not going for super detail, leave the vac form version in there. By the time it gets painted, I don't really see it as a detail that pops. They pretty much sit on the inside of your forearm when you're holding a blaster. I mean, you won't see the inside of that very much. So I don't know. That's a judgment call on your part. For me, I just leave it because it formed a pretty decent amount of detail for being what it is. Let me get this sanded so I can transfer the cut line over. Now that that's nice and flat, I'm going to transfer these butt joint marks right on over, and then cut them out too. Cut along that little line. Just repeating the process. No big deal. You might not have to clamp that. No, you're going to clamp it. You're going to be safe. Just clamp it. There you go. Yay, pretty. Repeat on the other side. Just get it all done at the same time. That's why we didn't do any of the, what do you call it, the slurry, ABS slurry on those biceps yet. And just save it all for the same time. Don't waste materials. Don't waste time. Don't waste energy, effort. And back to cutting. Cut along these pencil marks. Kind of try to leave it below the gray. I do not want to eat into the part itself. Light is going to be your biggest determining factor there. Making sure you have a good angle of light to reflect off of it. If it were white plastic, no problem. I'm going to see that pencil mark easy. Black, I got to look for glare. I'm not worried about that cut off because we have our joining strips from this side. And would you look at that? Would you look at that? Bye again. Started getting a touch high on that one. Not bad at all. We'll stand this one though. So the next step will be a matter of taking the strips we cut. We're still repeating what we did here. Go ahead and take them, sand them down, get them ready to be clamped and marked and glued into place on the flat side. Oh man, I'm working this whole time without any music in my ear. Wonder I'm babbling so much. I'm still thinking about that. If I had all the time and money in the world, what's my dream? Well, you didn't say money. Actually, when you were saying that, let's see where that question was again. See, now I'm thinking. This is why I need to listen. Come on, I gotta scroll up. That question's eating at me now. Oh, it was a long time. And who asked it? Boy, I missed a lot of questions in here. Okay, Wolfgang was asking it. Yeah, well, he's going to miss it now. Yeah, if I had all the time. See, that's just it. It's a matter of time and money. Like, because they go hand in hand. Being time is money, time is valuable, but also the materials that would be involved if I were building any armor set. It's just too broad. It's too broad. There are plenty of things that I want to do, but will probably never get around to doing in my entire life. Gosh, it's just eating at me now because the time thing isn't a problem. It's just the money. All right, if we're going to no time and money, I mean, I'm already essentially halfway done it. Fully functional step into Fallout 4 style power armor. We've already did our style on stilts. I've had 4 near-death experiences in that suit. I highly don't recommend it. The Fallout 3 human-size armor is much better. Yeah, definitely, though. Yeah, if we had all the time and money, I think about 10 million ought to cover it, and we could probably develop a fully working prototype suit. So definitely don't see that happening. That was still my dream. So I'll say I've essentially already built my dream armor, which was power armor. That was the fun project. That was the let's see if we can do it project. That was the, hey, you got a great deal on a bunch of printers and putting them to work at the time. So, yeah, we still got the, basically prototype molds that we can form 4 more rough suits off of, but I still don't recommend it to anybody. So, yeah, that was the dream project. Let me think. If I just had time to do something on the side and do something that I want to work on, that is a totally different question. Totally different question. If I had time, I really just wanted to be working on getting everyone's stuff out faster. Time and energy don't allow that. Sadly. I'm 39 and a half years old, and I feel like I'm probably about 60. I have been around armor, costumes, props, the Legion, everything since 1998. Already had a good chance to do most everything I've wanted to do personally. Well, that makes me mad. Looks so good. Didn't think it needed to be trimmed. Come on. Come on. And today's Thursday. Y'all couldn't hear it, but I just heard jet engines, Blue Angels. I think they're practicing. That may be what I heard. Base is a few miles away from here. We can kind of see them every once in a while. There we go. Now both sides of the butt joint strip are in. Let's test fit again. Good right there. Or do we? You're going to cause a problem? Yeah, you going to cause a little problem, or do we want to join there? No, you're going to join at the bottom. Let's nip this little bit off here. There we go. Much better. You're going to... There we go. Nice and clean. That'll work. That'll do. Check our other side. That's the gimme side. That one's just too perfect. Yep. Well, I'll start with the perfect side. Make sure it's sanded first. Don't skip your steps. Or is that what you're supposed to do on YouTube? Are you supposed to talk like a blathering idiot? I mean, I just probably don't watch any of the real popular streamers very much. In fact, I haven't been watching YouTube much at all recently. Just got turned off by it recently for some reason. I mean, not that we don't mind broadcasting on YouTube. It's just me personally watching it. I just haven't been in the mood. I still haven't even watched the Mandalorian 2 trailer yet. So, or season 2 trailer. I kind of just want to be surprised this time. No expectations. I feel like I got a little too much information on the last time and want a little less this time because we've already had enough information leak out. Sweet, sweet butt joining. A little bit more of a gap in the front than I'd like, but that's okay. It's all getting filled. See, I got off just a little gap right there. It's okay. Back to trying this gel on the other side, just because I need to turn it in odd directions. What a smell. Careful now. Careful. 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 There you go. Good boy. Whew. No glue on the fingers. And another pretty butt joint. I thought that was going to be the hard side. Make sure it's nice and glued. Yep, sure is. All right, I'll reset here for the ABS slurry real quick. I got to find everything. Kevin was using it yesterday. He was supposed to be in today. He dropped by for a second to do something or grab something and took off. I guess he has a couple days off right now. And just reset the whole workbench here. I'm going to do something a little different with the ABS slurry too. So you'll have to excuse me off camera. I'll have to grab a couple of things. Left and right. Where'd them biceps go? You just had them, boy. Where are they, you moron? There they are. Yeah. All right. So we want the seam, don't want the seam. So we're going to slurry it up. I've got a couple things to hunt for real quick. I'm going to look for a roll of ABS filament that I probably don't like and try it for the base. And you know what? Let me make a be right back sign. And I got 4 watchers. I hate leaving y'all, but it might take me a minute to find a few things. When we were using Streamlabs, this was so much easier. I've got a notebook, I think. Ugh. Somewhere. Come on. Little redneck engineering. Give me a minute to gather some supplies up. Let's see, can we see that? Be back soon. Yay, we can see that. Where'd my clamps go? There they are. That clamp will hold it up. Perfect sign. All right, let me find all our stuff. Make sure I'll have my stuff in order for doing a slurry. I need gloves. Find that roll of filament. You can't see that. Not allowed. And I'm also going to mute the microphone. So you may not hear much. Actually, I won't even mute it. We don't need to mute it. We'll just leave it here for now. I don't want it to lose connection. Yay, found the filament. Will you bring a mixing cup? A mixing cup, a clean mixing cup. Let me see my invisible watch says what time it is. What?
You're gonna leave soon. Oh. Are you recording?
Well, you were already on, so. Okay, now I've got all my supplies. I'll save this. Just in case I need it in the future. I'm sure I will. So now we're going to do an ABS slurry for these parts. So let me just see if I can shift these out. Just a little bit. Did these yesterday. We can do those again real quick. That's super simple. We're going to talk about making an ABS slurry so we can make these parts permanent. Now, it's not really going to matter any. Excuse me. If you sand it beforehand, but I'm going to sand it a little bit so I have a guide to follow. Let's see where I accidentally sanded that side to glue them together before I do the slurry. I just want something for it to adhere to, a little area for me to watch, because I'm going to be concentrating on just really building up as much as I can on the seam, and then we'll sand it all back down, and that'll all be one fused piece of plastic at that point. And this is pretty well butt jointed, but you can definitely see it better with a little extra sanding. All our parts that are going to be slurried have that little sand line on them now. And I wanted to play with a slurry. Oh, I forgot the acetone. Of all things, the acetone. Most important aspect of everything is just the acetone. Now you get to see me really close. Acetone. All right, acetone for the slurry. Said we're working with it. It's almost infinitely revivable, because once it all cures in the measuring cup at some point anyway, and try not to dribble ABS all over your ABS, you could just pour more ABS or more acetone into it and let it reconstitute into itself if you wanted to. So I grabbed an older roll of black ABS we had, probably could have been printing with it. I was looking for some 3mm black ABS, but I didn't want to deal with that giant spool, so we're just going to use this one and start cutting strands and letting it dissolve. If I don't end up liking this, then I'll use my shavings, but hey, this kind of stuff is more than less readily available. What, did I get another present?
Yeah, it's going to be an unboxing video.
Oh, yay. It depends on what order it is. Is it part of a build, or is it just part of something we needed around here? All right, love you. Ah, helmet fans. And are these little batteries? Oh, nope, these are the other helmet fans. Yeah, these are the neat ones. I liked this one whenever I found it. I can't pronounce that to save my life. It's a 40mm USB fan with a 3-speed control on it. Pretty cheap too on Amazon. Bought 2 of them to test out with a couple of our client builds for their special requests. Wow, this is a really nice fan. That's aluminum. I think these cost about $13 a piece. That's nice. That's really nice. And let's compare them to these look like these are ones with plastic housings. These don't have a speed control. These are just straight plug-ins. These are more or less the style I'm used to whenever I'm wearing helmet fans. Oh, it's got tape over it. Oh my goodness. As if my hands weren't broken enough already. So yay. Armor build video turns into helmet fan unboxing video. Yay. Yeah, they're plastic, but they're still pretty heavy duty. Hengda Technologies. You know, Amazon fans. I don't remember what the cost on these were. They're pretty standard fans. I think I had ordered some housings for them because I'm tired of just sticking fans in helmets. I want something prettier whenever prettier and like accessible whenever we get requested to do this. But yeah, that's a nice fan. Really good battery. Yeah, a couple of battery banks. Ultra thin battery banks. I don't feel like opening them. So yeah, these must have been cases. Was this a case? Did I have 2 of these or just the one? I don't even, or is there 2 in there? Don't remember. Odd. Yeah, these were cases with a little wrench for the fans. Yeah, now I remember what these were. Yeah, little filter boxes that screw over the fans, 40 millimeter fan. So safety cage can go on both sides, or you should be able to have a filter go through it, one or the other. Oh, hey, Kim. Well, Kim, our local seamstress, is about to join us. Or not. Okay, or she's here, so you see me talking to people off camera. Hello. Oh, no. Not yet. Not live like this. I mean, unless we just want to set the world on fire. Do we want to set the world on fire? Do we want to? Which one is it? Is it the tank?
What?
Is it the tank or the TK? The tank? Okay. If we show it off, we need to show them all off at the same time, like a runway fashion show. Because you want to see men all dressed up like that. Just in those. Yeah, cool little fans here. Amazon, Elang Tang, 40 millimeter, 3-speed control, USB fans. I'm sure the velocity's on them good. Found a couple of ultra slim power banks. Like to Velcro those into the helmets. Yeah, see, that's how far back we were doing loopholes.
Yeah.
Back in 06. It's just normal part of costuming, if you ask me. Yeah. And that's just a basic old boba pattern jumpsuit, stretchy material for her when she was a tinier little thing. All right, we got fans. So that's cool. Fans. All right. Ordered some voice changing stuff too, so we'll see about that. Found a pretty cool site. Parts pretty cheap. Need to build some project boxes for them. But yeah, definitely going to be cool and fun. Primarily for an amp over a voice changer, but it was a voice changer. All right, let me see if this garbage is even going to do anything, or if I just want to abandon ship already. Yeah, these just almost need to be shredded. Yeah, if you're going to use 3D printer filament, what I'm thinking would be best is if like you ran it through your blender, an old blender, to get it chopped up real fine. Because I'm not liking that literally at all. This is not a slurry to me. It definitely needs to be chopped ultra fine, or bleh, you're going to end up with ABS spaghetti. Don't eat it. Yeah, let's just start over. Save this for printing. Woo. All right, let me start over. Let me start with some pre-blended stuff that we get from our bandsaw shavings whenever we're cutting plastic. And put this up real quick. That cup's just right over there. Way too much. That wasn't a clean cup either. Yeah, I'll only start out with a splash and go from there.
Armor, robes on fabric.
I can already tell it's beautiful. All you have to do is flash it.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-huh.
I did have to double this because the stuff I'm getting is crap.
That's okay. That's generally what you do. Just add a little reinforcement to it if you don't like it. All right, so we have some ABS shavings, acetone, chip brush, prep parts, and these dissolve a lot better, a lot faster. You know, keep it moving. You kind of want it to be paste-like, but you still want it to be smooth. That's the best way I can really describe it. Yep, that's a lot. Yeah, need another splash. Just barely a bit. There we go. It's definitely an eyeball thing. If you were doing this for your 3D printer, obviously you'd want it really thin so you could paste it on. I may not have enough in general mixed up to do everything, but we'll find out. Make sure this is out of the way. And be careful, wear eye protection when you're doing this. I've got glasses, so it's just kind of me risking it right there. And I get any parts I see that are overlapped together. Well, pull up the email and get me his number again, and yeah. Well, I don't think I had it in my phone before, but yeah, don't be nervous about that. He gets free airline and has time, I guess, to come on down. Like, oh, all right. From Utah, right? Utah. I don't blame him. Nothing against Utah, but you know, we don't really hear much out of Utah. So get out, see the world a little bit when you can, if you have the opportunity. Just don't be spreading none of that corona. Ow, 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 nerve pain, ow.
Yeah, you never know what's left inside there.
Lipstick. Yeah, all that is kind of reference for you because we have them. I've got mine too, and mine's done out of duck cloth.
This is great because I can see where the armor rubs and stuff.
Right. There. That's a much better mix to me this time. I know it's hard to keep up on camera, but this just feels better. I'm kind of runny, but not, because I want to paint it and fill it in this seam without overdoing it. This is my Bob Ross moment here. Paint a happy little ABS seam. There we go. Double check the other side. Very pretty. Yeah, this runnier mixture is actually a touch better for me. The other one was a bit chunky. Too much, too much. Come on. I mean, we are basically using ABS shavings, acetone melted together on top of ABS to meld and weld a seam and make it a permanently joined piece of plastic. And it's just like a liquidy, putty consistency. You don't really need to be too worried about spreading it around. See, filling this seam is a lot better. I got off track on that one very badly. This seam is filling a lot better than the overlap seam. So there's also your advantage of butt joining versus overlap. Little things to consider. Go. Just double check all these. Make sure I have everything I want. Very good. Very good. I hear half a conversation happening over there.
I was wondering if it was noise canceling.
It may pick y'all up, but at that low of a voice, probably not. It's right on me. We're not sure of all the effectiveness range. Eddie said something about trying to set up a boom mic for me. He said he'd be in a few days.
Yeah, we're gonna do his measurements.
And that is our ABS slurry on top. Now we wait, we sand, and then we fill again, and then we sand, and then we get everything ready for paint. Whew. Huh? No, we're not recording. We're just live, and it's uploading now because Streamlabs went to a pay model, and I don't want to pay them $10 a month. I'm kind of refusing it. I don't know why. We should probably just pay him the $10 a month. Let me go back to Streamlabs, and then he can edit. But it is. I mean, you were letting me do it for free before, and now you want $10 a month. Come on, man. What's up with that? So YouTube lets me stream. Okay, so Nicholas Cardona is the guy that ordered separately the finished helmet and the finished armor, right? All right, I got him right here. So just want to make sure. We've got the Death Troopers on the bench over there, 8 of them, and we've got 8 of the First Order TK, not First Order, Rogue One TK helmets on the bench, same state as the Death Troopers. Collars need to be cut out, eye lenses need to be cut out, vent thingies need to be cut out, wash, sand, shouldn't be any filling we have to do to them, and we're going to get them all white. And we have some stencils being designed by our 3D artist, where he's doing some wizardry magic with our 3D model so that we can do some easy masking, so we can get the grays and the blacks painted onto the helmet without tedious amounts of masking. So yeah, I'm really trying to cycle out helmets. I want all of those Death Trooper helmets to ship, and that's why we said with the TK helmets we were trying to rush them through too, so that they could kind of ship and get in people's hands whether they were with a kit or not. It's a beautiful helmet. I can't wait to see it finished. I need one. I don't even have one. All this stuff for me, and I never get it. It's
Stuff for me and then somebody else gets it.
yeah. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's why I had to thank Justice Self for letting me hold on to his build. So at least I had a suit this year and had a couple troops in. Shoot. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have given 2 toots about armor. All right. What time is it? 1. All right, this is a good natural stopping point right now. We have a client coming in to pick up his R1 TK kit right now that we made a couple days ago. He lives about 45 minutes away. So tomorrow's live video, we'll go over the butt joining and gluing together, and the holster being put on the right thigh, not the left thigh. Yeah, I did it yesterday. My dyslexia kicked in when I looked at the picture, because it was on the left in the picture and my mind transposed it. Yeah, I always have to look, and I look wrong. So yeah, okay, we'll right side. Laces out, Dan. Laces out. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. So thanks for joining in. Tomorrow I'll be doing these, and we'll see you later.